Is mushroom farming profitable? Is it profitable? Let's see. Let's go together. See, the big answer is yes, it is profitable. Very profitable, highly profitable. I've been into this for many years and I can tell you, based on experience, mushroom farming is so profitable. But, there's a but. If you do it with the right knowledge and you are consistent with it, mushroom farming is profitable because people are not ready to actually pay the price of receiving knowledge. When people just want to jump into something and then expect that instantly they just find one miracle and the money start flowing in. It doesn't happen that way. Business generally doesn't happen that way. Not when you are from this part of the world where the economy is, it's not smiling as expected or as desired. You would have several experiences when you start a business. And agriculture is one of those kind of businesses in which you start and have several experiences. You learn as you go on it, and that is the place where consistency comes in. If you are not consistent, if after one or two errors you give up, you can't actually see the beauty in it. You can't see the beauty in mushroom cultivation. So you must be ready to stay consistent with it. Learn and, make mistakes, learn from it, and move on. That is where you can actually see the beauty in everything, especially mushroom cultivation, because that's what this video is about. Now, you see, one of the things about mushroom cultivation is it has high market demand. High market demand, yes. Mushrooms are highly medicinal. They have very high value. Yes, edible mushrooms have very high value. Even some of the non-edible ones that are being used in laboratories and all that, they have very high value. Very high value. Restaurants, hotels, eateries, they buy them regularly. People love them. They are in demand. When you go to all these, eateries, all these food businesses, they demand for them. Retail customers demand for them. They want healthy food. There are people in which doctors have told them to stay away from fatty foods. So many of them, they always go for things like mushrooms to replace those fatty foods. And mushroom is one very sweet food because when you cook it, you can cook it in a way that it's going to be like meat, the texture. So people who have stopped taking red meat, they always go ahead to cook mushrooms in a way that will replace the meat. The next point about mushrooms and what makes them profitable is they have fast growth, and this means quick returns, quick income. Oyster mushrooms, as I've explained in my previous videos, that maximum within 2 months you would start harvesting. Once they start fruiting, you keep harvesting. So they have fast growth. It's not like normal cropping, which once you just plant and you harvest once, then you have to make a new set of ridges and plant again. No. Like maize and all that. Once you harvest once, you have to uproot and discard all the plants and replant again. No. Mushrooms are such that, see these bags, once they start fruiting, you harvest several cycles from them. So it's not once you harvest from this bag, you keep harvesting. And that's what makes them profitable. You also have low startup costs. Yes, I've explained in several of my videos about the startup cost for mushroom cultivation. You don't need so much capital to start as a beginner. You start small and go big. You don't need so much capital. With as little as 50,000 naira, coupled with one or two things you have in your environment, you can start mushroom cultivation. Yes, you can start mushroom cultivation. You don't need so much capital to start as a beginner. The substrate bags can be, prepared using materials gotten from your local environment for free. For free. This substrate bag contains sawdust and other ingredients can be added, and this other ingredient can be gotten in your environment. The sawdust can be gotten free from your sawmills, and these other ingredients such as rice bran are gotten at a very little cost from your feed mills or your local markets. You can get them at very little cost. Then other things, space, and other equipment are things you have in your house. The pots you use, you have them in your house. The space, you can just convert an empty room, or you can just make a small cage, like the chicken cage. Make a small cage, and these things can be done cheaply. So these things shows that mushroom cultivation has low startup costs. Now, the other point is that they use cheap or free materials. Yes. If you want to go into mushroom cultivation, you can use cheap or free materials. I've talked about it previously in the last point. Cheap materials. Everything you use, the sawdust, the rice straw, the concourse, the banana leaves, all of these things are waste materials in your environment. Just go and pack them. Even those people who discarded them, they will be happy you are taking them. Yes, they'll be happy you are taking them to use. And then the next point is there are multiple ways to earn money in mushroom cultivation. You can go into selling the fresh mushrooms. You can go into selling dried mushrooms. That is when you harvest the fresh ones. If you are not able to sell them off, you don't have to discard them. You just dry them under the natural sun, and you can sell them in dried form. The dried ones stay very long. They have very long shelf life. Dry them. And the thing is, when you dry them and you're able to accumulate them in large quantity, you can sell them at very good prices. Then you can sell the mushroom spawn. You can just focus on selling the spawns alone. You can also go on by selling, training people or rendering consultancy services. You train people, you render consultancy services. This increases your profit potential. 1 kg of fresh mushrooms right now in Nigeria is sold between 2,500 to 4,000 naira. 2,500 to 4,000 naira. And this is because you have to understand your environment, people you are selling to. If you're selling to the high income earners, you can sell as much as 4,000, 5,000 per kg. But if you're selling to the low class, that's when you might go as low as 2,500, 3,000. Yes. But it is sold between 2,500 to 4,000 naira. And if it's the dried ones, the dried mushrooms is sold around 20,000 naira per kg. 20,000 naira per kg. And it's because you need to dry a lot of fresh mushrooms, because when they get dried, their weight would have reduced. So you have to accumulate a lot of them. So the fresh one is sold around 20,000 naira. Do your maths. Sit down and do the calculation. Look at how much you spent on getting your materials. Many of those things you used in production, they are waste materials. You got them for free. Maybe you might only just have to hire a vehicle to carry them for you. Look at those things. And now look at when you start harvesting, you're selling at the rate of 3,000 naira per kg. Yes, you see that there's a lot of profit in it. And this encourages you to do more. This tells you that mushroom cultivation, mushroom farming is highly profitable. Yes, it is. If you learned something from this video, share it to many people that needs to learn from it. Like this video and subscribe if you have not done so. You can always reach me using the number on the screen. I'll be so glad to hear from you. Till next time, I wish you all the best in your mushroom cultivation journey. Bye.